Hello, everybody. Welcome to Yoga for Self-Love with Kim. I am Kim. This will be a gentle practice, but we will bring our focus to our core today. So gentle practice, but it'll be a little fiery. So bring yourself to your mat and we will begin on our backs. Bring yourself into Shavasana, final relaxation pose. We will start here. So you can extend the legs down the mat if that feels okay for your low back. If not, then you could bend the knees. Bring the feet to the mat, point the knees up towards the ceiling, or even let the knees knock in towards each other. Take the arms out to the sides, palms to face up or down. Give your head a little rock from side to side. And then bring your head to center. If it feels okay for you, close your eyes or just find a soft and steady gaze. Begin to allow yourself to arrive. Feel the weight of your body on the floor, on your mat. Imagine that the earth is holding you and supporting you. So you can let go of any tension, holding, gripping, bracing, and begin to just let your whole body go. Let everything soften and relax. Relax through your feet, through your legs. Relax through your hips and your pelvis. Relax through your buttocks and your belly. Relax through your low back, mid back, and upper back. Relax through the front of the torso, chest, the rib cage, the collarbones. Relax your shoulders down and away from the ears. Relax the arms, hands and fingers. Relax your neck and your throat and your jaw. Relax your tongue, muscles in your face, little muscles around your eyes. Relax cheekbones and temples, forehead and scalp. Relax through the crown of the head. Allowing the whole body to relax. Let your mind relax. You can notice any thoughts moving through your mind, just like clouds floating in and out. No need to dwell on them, just let them come and go. I invite you to bring in the intention to be gentle, kind, patient, loving, and compassionate with yourself as you move through this practice. And if you choose to carry that intention off of the mat and out into the world with you. Now begin to allow some movement into your body. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Yawn, sigh, wiggle, stretch. Reach the arms up overhead. And now bring the legs together. Reach up and out through your fingers as you reach down and out through the toes. And then let the whole body relax. Now draw the right knee into the chest, hug it in. And release the right leg down to the mat. Let's draw that left knee into the chest, hug it in. And then release. Draw both knees into your chest. Now we'll take the hands behind the head, interlace your fingers. Just take your fingers to the back sides of the skull. Now we'll keep the right knee hugging in towards the chest. Extend the left leg down the mat, but keep that leg hovering up off of the mat. Press down through the low back. Press down through that right elbow. We'll begin to peel the left elbow up off of the mat and draw it over towards that right knee. And now we'll switch. Draw left knee in towards the chest. Left elbow will come back down to the mat. We'll extend the right leg out. Peel that right elbow up off of the mat and point it over towards that left knee. Bring it back down. We'll begin to take this from side to side. Extend out through that left leg. Draw that left elbow towards that right knee. Left knee draws back in towards center, over to the other side. Take this through a few rounds. You can find your pace here and keep it slow, or you could pick up the pace a little bit. Keep breathing. And if you like, smile. Everything's better when you smile. More fun. And then draw both knees into the chest. Take the hands to the knees. Roll your knees around in a few little circles. Inner legs together. Switch the circles the other direction. And then we'll bring the knees back to center. Now extend both legs up towards the ceiling. Take your arms, reach the arms up towards the ceiling too. Bring your palms together. Keep pressing down through that low back. And take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, peel yourself up, shoulders, torso up off of the mat. Bring the hands outside of the right thigh. And now inhale as we lower the left leg down. Keep the right leg where it is. As you exhale, lift that left leg back up to meet the right. Keeping head, shoulders, torso lifted, hands reaching outside of that right thigh. So we'll move through this a few times. Lower that left leg down. Lift it back up. Couple more. Left leg comes back up, lower yourself back down, bend the knees, bring hands to the knees again. You can give yourself a little rock side to side or back and forth. Take a few nice deep breaths. And then let's take it over to the other side. So send the legs back up towards the ceiling, arms reach back up, palms together. Take a deep breath in. Curl yourself up, and this time bring the hands outside of the left thigh. And then we will lower that right leg down to hover up off of the mat. Lift that right leg back up. Inhale, lower right leg down. Exhale, pull the leg back up. Few more times. Last one, lift that right leg back up, lower yourself back down, drop your feet down to the mat. Let's take the feet wide to outer edges of the mat. Now just wave your knees from side to side. Bring the knees back up, walk the feet back in about hip width distance. And now we'll lift the shins up, line the knees up over the hips. Shins are parallel-ish to the floor. Keep pressing down into that low back. And you can take the hands down alongside you or out to the sides, or you could take your hands now and grab a hold of the outer edges of your mat. Keeping the left leg where it is, we'll drop the right foot down to tap the mat. Bring that right leg back up to meet the left. Drop that left foot down, tap the mat, lift it back up. A few more times, tapping the foot side to side. Checking in with your shoulders here. You feel the shoulders starting to tense up. Give them permission to relax. Check in with your jaw. What's happening with your jaw? Let the jaw relax. And now drop both feet down to the mat. Palms press down into the mat, or you can keep a hold of the edges of the mat if you've got a hold of them. Press into your feet, begin to lift your hips up. So take it into a little half bridge here, a little baby bridge. Not coming all the way up into our full bridge, but just getting a little bit of a release through the front of the body. After all of that crunching in, curling in, give it a nice little rest. And then lower yourself back down. Hands to the knees or shins or back of the thighs. If this is available to you, you can rock and roll yourself back and forth a few times. And when you feel ready, roll yourself all the way up. If rocking and rolling is not happening for you, then you just find your way up into a seated position. So roll yourself all the way up. We'll plant the feet down onto the mat. Let's take the hands underneath the shoulders. Press into the fingers. Walk your feet in. Lift up through your belly, up through your low back. Pick up the toes. Hug the knees in towards the chest. Stay here, or you could lift your shins up and bringing the shins parallel-ish to the mat. Lift up through the belly, up through that low back. Lower the feet down to the mat. Let's take hands to knees or shins. Pull the knees wide. Draw your heart forward. And then bring the knees back in, hands back underneath the shoulders. Walk the toes in. Lift up the toes, hug the toes in, or again, lift shins up, parallel-ish to the mat. Keep that lift up through the low back so you're not rounding out through the back or collapsing. If you like, you can release the arms, coming into our Navasana, boat pose. Hands to back of the thighs and release your feet back down. Take hands to knees or shins, pull the knees wide, draw the heart forward. And then plant the feet back down, knees come back towards hip width, hands come back underneath the shoulders. Let's do it one more time. Walk your feet in, come up onto the toes, lift up the toes, keep it here, or again, lift up shins. Keep your hands where they are, or again, if you like, release the arms. Smile. Hands behind the thighs, drop the feet back down, plant the feet, and now let's cross the shins over. Bring yourself into a table position. Loosen up through the spine, through the front body, back body by moving through a few rounds of our cat-cow. So as you inhale, lift up your tail, let the belly soften and drop down. Gaze forward, heart forward. Exhale, root down into your hands, around your back, up towards the ceiling, and then roll through a few more rounds here of your cat-cow, following your rhythm. And then we'll bring it into our table, neutral spine. Root down into the right fingers. We'll send that right leg back and we'll reach forward with that left arm coming into your cat balance. And now we'll draw the elbow and the knee towards each other underneath the body. So curl in, elbow towards knee, press down into that right hand, into the finger pads. Hug it. Knee, elbow together, and then re-extend everything back out. We'll do that a couple more times. Curl it in, knee and elbow drawing towards each other, and then extend everything back out. One more time, curl in, extend it back out, and release the hand and the knee down to the mat. Let's send the left leg back now, root into your left fingers and reach forward with that right arm. And then we curl it in, right elbow, left knee, draw underneath the body towards each other. Inhale, reach it back out. Exhale, curl it in. Inhale, reach it out. Exhale, curl it in. One more time. Inhale, extend out that arm and leg. Exhale as you hug it in. And then we'll reach it back out. Release the hand and the knee down to the mat. Tuck your toes under. Root down through the finger pads, through the fingers. Hug in through the elbows. And then lift your knees up off of the mat a couple of inches. Couple breaths here. And then release the knees down to the mat. Untuck toes. Roll through a few more rounds of cat-cow. Bring it back into your table. Tuck toes under again. Press into fingers, lift those knees up off of the mat. Now we'll hug right knee in towards chest. Release that foot back to the mat. Hug the left knee in towards chest. Release that foot back to the mat. Right knee hugs in towards the chest as you press down through the hands. Release that right foot down. One more time, left knee hugs into chest. Release that foot down. Drop knees down to the mat. Few more rounds of your cat-cow. Inhale, soften the belly, tilt the tail up. Gaze reaches up. Find your cat around and through the back. Few more rounds. Bring yourself back to your table. Tuck toes under again. Lift up the knees, but this time we'll take it into a bear crawl. So we'll bring this back and forth, up and down our mat here. You could turn yourself around and crawl around the room if you would like to. So we'll step left foot, right hand forward at the same time. So opposite foot in hand. And then we'll step right foot, left hand forward. And then we'll continue all the way up the mat. And then we'll begin to take it back. Right foot, left hand, come back. Left foot, right hand, come back. And you continue. Opposite hand, opposite leg. And you bring yourself back and forth a few times. Or, as noted, crawl yourself around the room. Amazing what a little bear crawl can do for you. Really gets you into your body. All right, let's bring it back into our table. Tuck toes under, press into hands, glide hips up, downward dog with a generous bend in the knees. Begin to find some movement here, walking it out, pedaling legs, bending, straightening knees. Breath or two here in your downward dog. Pressing down and out through the hands, hugging in through the arms, lifting up through the armpits, rooting down through the backs of the legs, down through the heels. And then we'll lower the knees down to the mat. Come all the way down onto your belly. Let's take hands under shoulders. We'll bring it into a cobra pose to open up through the front of the body. Elbows hug in, press into fingers, lift up through the heart. And then release it back down. Let's do it again. Press into the fingers, into the toes, into the pubic bone, lift up through your heart, hug the elbows in. And if it feels okay for you, maybe bring it up into a full cobra. Find that opening through the whole front body as you lift the heart up. And then slowly lower yourself all the way down. Press into your hands and send your bum back to your heels. Let's take it into a child's pose. Relax your forehead, third eye space down to the mat. Maybe you can make a little pillow with the forearms and rest your forehead there. If you like, rock your hips from side to side. Bring yourself all the way back to sit on your heels or bring yourself into another comfortable seated position. Bring your palms together at your heart. Thank you so much for sharing this short, gentle, slightly fiery practice with me today. With love and gratitude, namaste.